My name is Charles. 12 years ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It set me on a journey to better understand this condition. It's taken me around the world as I hope to change not only my life, but others living with this disease. I've teamed up with some of the best in health to find ways to not only control, but to reverse. It does not take much to live for others, and what we leave is how we will be remembered. I hope at the end of this journey, we will see that hope is a good thing and the start of a better future. Welcome to Reversed.
So I'm Charles Maddox, and I am the director and producer of Reverse Carnivore. Last year we were here in Costa Rica for the keto version of this, and it went tremendous. And we're excited about this one because we are now using carnivore, which is like Dr. Kilt says, keto is for the masses, carnivore is for the masters.
I was taught that fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, and nuts, and no red meat, and 3 to 6 meals a day is good for you. But eventually I suffered bowel bleeding, arthritis, psoriasis, kidney stones, migraines, and more. And one day I learned about this. And through carnivore, it all went away. For me, it's bacon, eggs, butter, beef, and salt. Oh, there's an I in there for intermittently feasting and ice cream. But it's Kiltz's ice cream. This stuff didn't make sense to me, but I worked it out and I figured it out. Plants are poisonous and meat is healthy, and it makes you the master.
I found it interesting because I remember when I was first told about carnivore, I was like, you can't be serious. There's no way that eating bacon and eggs and hamburgers can be good for you. And I did some research, and obviously the same people who are in the keto space are also in the carnivore space. So as I started to do some research, I saw that this was something that actually needed to be talked about. And the health benefits have been unbelievable. I myself also do carnivore. I want to say I'm probably 95% carnivore. And I think that this new season, what we're going to be able to really showcase is understanding the body. You know, I want to bring these experts here to show these guests and even the audience what proper nutrition really is all about. Understanding what carbs, starch, sugars, the processed foods that we put into our bodies is really all about. You know, I'm excited about having Dr. Ken back, Dr. Kiltz, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Tony, Maria Emmerich, Kelly, Sarah. I mean, some of these experts are unbelievable and have come all the way from Australia, Hawaii, to be a part of this. Reverse is not per se reversing diabetes or conditions. It's about reversing the mental, physical, and spiritual state that we're in. And once we're educated, at times once we're inspired, so many things could be changed. You know, let's hope that Reverse can continue to change lives. And this is going to be a great series. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of education.
My name is Dennis Ford. I live in Comac, New York. In 2015, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I was immediately put on 3 different medications. After about a year of being on medications, I kind of did some research into type 2 diabetes and realized that it could be controlled with diet and exercise. And that's exactly what I did. I began exercising, I practiced intermittent fasting, and I lost about 70 pounds in the course of about 2 years.
I'm Susan. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in September of 2021.
And I'm Tim Kasprick. I'm Susan's husband. I'm currently a full-time farmer, carnivore. It's a perfect fit, and I'm really excited to be here.
Hello, my name is Maria Jimenez Baquet. I'm from Costa Rica. I'm a mother of 3. I'm looking forward to be on this series, Carnivore, because my health has been on the edge for many years.
My name's Natalie. I've had a lot of struggles with weight over my whole life, and I started with keto because I had gotten to my highest weight that I had ever been in the beginning of the pandemic, and I wanted to do keto to lose weight, and that led me to carnivore, and then I started moving my diet towards, for a while, really a ketovore approach.
My name is Maria Emmerich. I'm an international best-selling author of over 20 books. I am a nutritionist that works with people such as Halle Berry. I want everybody to understand the why carnivore is the way we were meant to eat, why carnivore has the most nutrients for people. And I know people are like, it's carnivore, you just eat meat and salt. I think it can be more interesting than that. I don't think I would stick to it if it was just steak every day. So I like to make it fun and interesting and delicious. Food changed my life, and it can for you too. Like, it's as simple as that. I'm a completely 100% different person, and you can too. And it's hard choosing what you put in your mouth. It's not easy at first, but now I don't even see the frankenfood as food anymore. I know what makes me feel good, and I just want everybody to know that food can really change your life in many, many ways.
I have an autoimmune condition called ankylosing spondylitis. It affects my spine, my SI joints, and my hips mainly, but it can affect other things. I really want to see how well I can manage my autoimmune condition by addressing root cause things and diet, and it would be amazing eventually, more of a long-term goal. I would really like to be able to manage those things without the use of biologics.
My name is Dr. Rob Kiltz, and I'm a fertility physician, and I'm here to share a little bit about keto and carnivore and why it's so important to help all of us. But basically, I'm a OB/GYN doctor that specializes in fertility. And as a fertility physician, I help people that are suffering from inability to conceive or miscarriages. And I have found that incorporating keto and carnivore is so amazing and helpful, even though I still practice full-time Western medicine.
I'm Coach Bronson. I've been a health and fitness coach for about 12 years. I've been carnivore for almost 5 years. And I got started in the whole journey in my mid-30s. I'm 50 now. I got started my journey realizing that I was out of shape, I was not happy, I had IBS and a lot of other issues with my health. And it took me a while, like 8 years, to find the perfect combination of fitness and nutrition that really made the difference in my quality of life. And it was that process that really helped me realize that it wasn't about fat loss, it wasn't about how I looked, it was about what my body could do and how well I could function in my day-to-day life.
So my initial thought of carnivore diet was probably like everybody else's, that high-fat diets are no good. It causes heart attack, hypertension, disease. And I found out by researching that it actually that could be furthest from the truth, and it actually is the way we're supposed to be eating.
So did you know that beef is the most nutrient-dense food? Yes, it is. Beef has more vitamins and minerals than kale, than blueberries, than all the things that we've been told are healthy. Beef is actually where it's at. So salt is super important when you do a carnivore or keto diet. And the reason is when you eliminate all the carbohydrates, all that water loss is eliminated. You can't just drink more water to stay hydrated because there's no carbohydrates to retain the water. What do you need to do? You need to add salt. Salt is your friend when it comes to energy, when it comes to moods. If you have those heavy legs walking upstairs, it's usually low sodium. So get your sodium on. It's really, really important. It's going to help with all of your things that, the carnivore flu won't happen if you get your salt. And salt is not the devil. If you don't get enough sodium, you can die. Salt is what is causing the high blood pressure. What I mentioned before is the carbohydrates retain the water. If you eliminate those carbohydrates, guess what? Your blood pressure will come down to normal. Don't blame the salt. So when they say buy the low sodium foods, no. Eliminate the carbohydrates, get your meat on, add yourself in?
I personally, about 12 years ago, fell into carnivore. And I was just watching on YouTube and finding someone that's doing this easy diet, very narrow, and they were ripped and not exercising. And I said, that one's for me. And so I went carnivore. And basically it's steak, salt and water, but I threw in some eggs and some butter and things like that. And I not only personally did it, but I was finding that my patients were healing. They were getting pregnant, reducing miscarriages, carrying their babies to term, where nothing else in the Western world that I was taught was working as well as nutrition.
I don't think it's a competition. I feel like carnivore is an extension of keto. So wherever you are in your journey, I think that taking steps, some people are like, yep, so let's rip the Band-Aid off and do it all at once. Let's just be carnivore. For some people, it's baby steps, and it was for me.
I really like people to understand is eating meat is not bad. And there's a lot of misinformation in this regard. I am Dr. Donald Vega. I am from Costa Rica. I'm a nutritionist. And I used to be a personal trainer since 1997, and I retired from that in 2019 because at that time I wasn't having an impact massively, which is what I want to have, because I have this idea of promoting a healthy, fit, happy society, and the more people I can impact, the better, and the biggest the movement.
When you talk about the studies and people being scared of meat, it's because they've been told for years that meat is going to clog your colon, meat is going to raise your cholesterol, meat's going to give you a heart attack, all these things. And when you really look at the information that's out there and you start digging into what are they classifying as meat, or they're classifying a Happy Meal with French fries and a bun and a milkshake as a meal of meat. And that's probably not, meat in that meal is probably not what the problem was.
It's so true. They're studying the wrong people.
Yeah.
Well, and the studies are asking questions about what you ate. And they're correlating that you ate some meat and you have cancer. In fact, meat had nothing to do with it. And so we also know that eating meat makes you healthier. And I know personally, after going carnivore, I've never felt better. And we see our patients feel better. And so quite often we're looking for the science to give us the answer, but it really is right in front of us. Because we've seen it in our communities that people who are doing carnivore feel better. Their diseases melt away. And whether it's grass-fed or grain-fed, I don't think it's ultimately that important for the individual. Finding affordable food is critical, and meat is one of the most energy-dense, nutrient-dense, and more affordable than people understand. My job in life as a doctor is to share ideas that you don't need me, which seems a little ironic, right? I'm sharing something that might put me out of business. Well, I feel in some ways that's why I went into medicine. My sister Marianne, who died at 52 of diabetes, she had it since age 4. I saw the suffering. And what was the treatment? Well, it was insulin and mostly a plant-based diet. And then a good friend of mine, Dave, died of cancer at age 52. And I was really so intent on figuring out the why part of it. And could it be as simple as the healthy diet that we in the modern world, and as physicians, are recommending that you eat? And it's as sad as that and as simple as that.
I've had many people tell me that they're saving about, $2,000 a year on their groceries because they're buying just real food. They're hungry, not so often, because they're not messing with their blood sugar. They're not buying the junky ice cream and the snacks. And I don't know, I just think if you want to do it, you can. It's maybe just an excuse, is the expense.
Subconsciously, you're working towards something that is not long-term, because a diet, by definition, is something you do temporarily because you know what are the things associated to dieting. You're always hungry, you can eat whatever you want, you go to a party and you can't share with people, you're bullied, socially you have all these problems, and also you gain your weight back. we teach people that they need to change their lifestyle. We go really hard into the mindset.
It's going to be a big learning curve for most of us because we're so used to eating carbohydrates or vegetables than understanding the benefits of adding more meats and more protein into your day-to-day.
So much information, and just chatting with them, whether it was on camera, off camera, there's questions they had all the answers for, and it's just really it's been a great time so far.
So this is a golden opportunity for me.
Tune in to the next episode of Reversed.
You can lose fat and gain muscle, and your weight doesn't change at all.
No plants, no sugar, nothing artificial.
Well, what I've learned is our standard American diet, which is pretty much a high plant-based, lean meat diet and no red meat, is causing all of our problems.
You have nothing to lose. Just try it, and we're here to support you.